of such weakness. Grant there were evil spell or charm attached to it, which, trust me, there is not, as how should there be to a harmless piece of gold? My benediction and aspersion with holy lymph will have sufficient power to exorcise and expel it. To remove your fears it shall be done at once." A cup containing water was brought, together with a plate of salt, which condiment the devil is said to abhor, and which is held to be a symbol of immortality and of eternity, in that, being itself incorruptible, it preserves all else from corruption; and with the customary Romish formula of prayer and exorcism, the priest thrice mingled the crystal particles with the pure fluid, after which, taking the ring in his hand with much solemnity, he sprinkled it with a few drops of the water which he had blessed, made the sign of the cross upon the golden circlet, uttered another and more potent exorcism to eradicate and expel every device of Satan, and delivered it back to Luke. "She may wear it now in safety," said the sexton, with strong contempt. "Were the snake himself coiled round that consecrated bauble, the prayers of the devout Father Checkley would unclasp his lithest folds. But wherefore do we tarry now? Naught lies between us and the altar. The path is clear. The bridegroom grows impatient." "And the bride?" asked Barbara. "Is ready," replied the priest. "Madam, delay not longer. Daughter, your hand." Eleanor gave her hand. It was clammy and cold. Supported by her mother, she moved slowly towards the altar, which was but a few steps from where she stood. She offered no resistance, but did not raise her head. Luke was by her side. Then for the first time did the enormity of the cruel, dishonorable act he was about to commit strike him with its full force. He saw it in its darkest colors. It was one of those terrible moments when the headlong wheel of passion suddenly stands still. "There is yet time," groaned he. "Oh, let me not damn myself perpetually. Let me save her, save Sybil, save myself." They were at the altar, that wild wedding train. High over their head the torch was raised. The red light flashed on bridegroom and on bride, giving to the pale features of each an almost livid look. It fell upon the gaunt aspect of the sexton, and lit up the smile of triumphant malice that played upon his face. It fell upon the fantastical habiliments of Barbara, and upon the haughty but perturbed physiognomy of Mrs. Mowbray. It fell upon the salient points of the Gothic arches, upon one moulded pillar, upon the marble image of the Virgin Thecla, and on the scarcely less marble countenance of Sybil, who stood beside the altar, silent, statue-like, immovable. The effect of light and shade on other parts of the scene, upon the wild drapery and harsh lineaments of many of the group, was also eminently striking. Just as the priest was about to commence the marriage service, a yelling chorus, which the gipsies were accustomed to sing at the celebration of the nuptials of one of their own tribe, burst forth. Nothing could be more horribly discordant than their song. Wedding chorus of the gipsies. Scrape the catgut, pass the liquor, let your quick feet move the quicker, tarala. Dance and sing in jolly chorus, bride and bridegroom are before us, and the patrico stands o'er us, tarala. To unite their hands he's ready, for a moment, pals, he's steady. Cease your quaffing, dancing, laughing, leave off riot, and be quiet, while 'tis doing, 'tis begun, all is over, two are one. The patrico has linked 'em, Daddy Hyman's torch has blinked 'em. Amen! To it again! Now for quaffing, now for laughing, stocking throwing, liquor flowing, for our bridals are no bridals, and our altars never alter. From the flagon we never flinch, in the jig we never falter. No, that's not our way, for we are staunch lads of Romany. For our wedding then, hurrah! 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 This uncouth chorus ended, the marriage proceeded. Sybil had disappeared. Had she fled? No, she was by the bride. Eleanor mechanically took her place. A faint voice syllabled the responses. You could scarcely have seen Mrs. Mowbray's lips move, but the answers were given, and the priest satisfied. He took the ring, and sprinkled it once again with the holy water in the form of the cross. He pronounced the prayer: Benedic Domine, annulum hunc, Quem nos in tuo nomine benedicimus, ut cor eum gestaverit, fidelitatem integram suo sponso tenens, in pace et voluntate tua permaneat, atque in mutua charitate semper vivat. He was about to return the ring to Luke, when the torch held by the Knight of Malta was dashed to the ground by some unseen hand, and instantly extinguished. The wild pageant vanished as suddenly as the figures cast by a magic lantern upon a wall disappear when the glass is removed. A wild hubbub succeeded. Hoarsely above the clamour arose the voice of Barbara. "To the door! Quickly! To the door! Let no one pass! I will find out the author of this mishap anon! Away!" She was obeyed. Several of the crew stationed themselves at the door. "Proceed now with the ceremony," continued Barbara. "By darkness or by light, the match shall be completed." The ring was then placed upon the finger of the bride, and as Luke touched it, he shuddered. It was as cold as that of the corpse which he had clasped but now. The prayer was said, the blessing given. The marriage was complete. Suddenly there issued from the darkness deep dirge-like tones, and the voice solemnly chanted a strain which all knew to be the death song of their race, hymned by wailing women over an expiring sister. The music seemed to float in the air. The soul bell. Fast the sand of life is falling, fast her latest sigh exhaling, fast, fast is she dying, with death's chills her limbs are shivering, with death's gasp her lips are quivering, fast her soul away is flying, o'er the mountain top it fleeteth, and the skyey wonders greeteth, singing loud as stars it meeteth on its way. Hark, the sullen soul bell tolling, hollowly in echoes rolling, seems to say, she will ope her eyes, oh never, quenched their dark light, gone for ever, she is dead. The marriage group yet lingered near the altar, awaiting, it would seem, permission from the gipsy queen to quit the cell. Luke stirred not. Clasped in his own, the cold hand of his bride detained him, and when he would have moved, her tightened grasp prevented his departure. Mrs. Mowbray's patience was exhausted by the delay. She was not altogether free from apprehension. "Why do we linger here?" she whispered to the priest. "Do you, father, lead the way?" "The crowd is dense," replied Checkley. "They resist my effort." "Are we prisoners here?" asked Mrs. Mowbray in alarm. "Let me make the attempt," cried Luke, with fiery impatience. "I will force a passage out." "Quit not your bride," whispered Peter, "as you value her safety. Heed not aught else. She alone is in danger. Suffer her not to be withdrawn from your hand, if you would not lose her. Remain here. I will bring the matter to a speedy issue." "Enough," replied Luke. "I stir not hence." And he drew his bride closer towards him. He stooped to imprint a kiss upon her lips. A cold shudder ran through her frame as she touched them, but she resisted not his embrace. Peter's attempt to effect an egress was as unsuccessful as that of the priest. Presenting Excalibur at his bosom, the Knight of Malta challenged him to stand. "You cannot pass," exclaimed the knight. "Our orders are peremptory." "What am I to understand by this?" said Peter, angrily. "Why are we detained?" "You will learn all anon," returned Barbara. "In the meantime, you are my prisoners, or, if you like not the phrase, my wedding guests." "The wedding is complete," returned the sexton. "The bride and bridegroom are impatient to depart, and we, the guests, albeit some of us may be no foes to darkness, desire not to hold our nuptial revels here." "Sybil's wedding has not taken place," said Barbara. "You must tarry for that." "Ha! now it comes," thought Peter. "And who, may I ask," said he aloud, "amongst this goodly company, is to be her bridegroom?" "The best amongst them," returned Barbara. "Sir Luke Rookwood." "He has a bride already," replied Peter. "She may be removed," said Barbara, with bitter and peculiar emphasis. "Dost understand my meaning now?" "I will not understand it," said Peter. "You cannot mean to destroy her who now stands at the altar?" She who now stands